Hey everybody, it's Byron and I'm here with the updated 2023 BMW 3 Series. This is a 340i, so it is the M version, which will come into play a little bit later as we look at some of the updates on this car. This has been updated inside and out. It's not a complete redesign, just a little bit nip and tuck front and rear, and some new interior stuff, including some tech items that we'll definitely want to focus on. Let's take a look. As we're used to with most of these little kind of mid-cycle updates, it's all in the details, and that's clearly evident with this one. The real standout feature on the new 3 Series is this little anniversary emblem that they stuck on the nose there. This is only on the M Sport models, and it is an anniversary commemoration. I believe it's 50 years of BMW M. This isn't an M model in the sense it's not an M3, but it's still the Sport one. You get the sport suspension, the big brakes, and all that good stuff, plus the nice punchy engine, which we'll come to later. Some other details that changed up front here. You can see the headlights lost their little downward swoop here in the middle. It's just a straight shot across. The front bumpers are going to be different depending on which 3 Series you look at. This is the M again. It is a little more punched out and aggressive, but they'll be different compared to what you saw on the 2022 and earlier models. Quick stop here on the side just to point out the M Sport wheels and brakes that you get with this, in addition to the M Sport suspension we mentioned earlier. You'll note the BMW roundel here in this wheel is not the anniversary edition that is on the front and rear, and that's because this car is set up with winter wheels and tires right now, so it doesn't have its sporty summer set. And around back, again, bumper nip and tuck that we've got going on here. The flourish on the sides is really the most important change that's been made stylistically. It draws the black up the fenders a little bit. It's inspired by the BMW i4, which, you know, love it or hate it, it is what it is. And again, we have the anniversary badge back here, matching up with the front. And just the kind of general small stylistic changes we expect from what is effectively a mid-cycle refresh. All right, so those are the updates to the exterior of the 2023 BMW 3 Series. Let's hop inside. We're going to look at the tech updates and a whole new dashboard, which changes things up in ways that we don't necessarily love. All right, so here we are inside the 2023 BMW 3 Series, again, the M340i version. So what you're seeing here is going to be all M Sport themed. You get the turned aluminum dash and little elements here on the center cubby. Kind of sported up a little bit. It's the same finish that's on the top side of this cubby cover here. Makes a nice little roof, especially if you can actually fit your phone in there, which not everybody can. Unfortunately, among the updates for 2023 was not a larger wireless charging pad. Something we'd like to see, especially for today's bigger phones. Looking elsewhere, we've got more M detail in the seats, the blue stitching along with the same 3-color pattern that we see on the outside, especially with those roundels. Looking around though, the real change is the dash. And on the old 3 Series, there was a simple infotainment screen right above the vents here. That's been replaced with this whole dash-wide screen that includes the instrument cluster behind the wheel here. And it's one piece of glass, but really it's 2 separate displays. This is pretty common with these. And unfortunately, in doing all of this, they've eliminated an entire row of buttons that used to sit right here below the vents. This had your heated seats, some of your other HVAC controls, audio, that kind of thing. All of that is now in the infotainment system. And this is the new BMW iDrive 8. Please note that BMW says it cannot actually update this version to 8.5 over the air on its internal combustion engine models. For some reason, it's either not prepared for it, or they can't do it, or don't want to do it. But we're not going to see version 8.5 in here. You're going to be stuck with 8. And as you can see, just from the splash screen we have up here, a lot of HVAC controls have been moved into that. A lot of physical buttons that we used to have here in the center are gone. Also gone, the big hefty shifter. Nothing to grab anymore, just this tiny little thing that goes back and forth as you select your gears. Your sport mode selection, all of that remains. Genuinely looking around, it's very conventional BMW. There's nothing in here that's really a surprise. Not a win as far as we're concerned, but it could be worse. I feel compelled to mention that we have a 2022 BMW 330i in our current long-term fleet. That one is the plug-in hybrid. It has less power, but about the same amount of torque. Feels just as punchy around town, but really lacks the oomph you get from the twin-turbo 6. And also, since it's a 2022, it doesn't have any of the interior upgrades that we see in the 23. In some cases, as we've seen today, that's actually a good thing. All right, and coming around to the back one more time here, just looking at the trunk of the BMW 3 Series. There's no spare tire or anything like that in here. So you actually get a lot of trunk space, 17 cubic feet, in fact. That's more than you get in a Dodge Challenger. In fact, if you want more than this, you pretty much need to go with a hatchback or a crossover. That's a lot. And a quick look under the hood of the 23 BMW M340i. So This is BMW's 3-liter twin turbocharged inline 6, tried and true, been around in some form or another for decades at this point. With the 2 turbos on this one, you get 382 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. That's an exact carryover from last year, not even a tweak. And remember, BMW offers this in both rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive like this one, so you have options whether you need something all-wheel drive and weather-friendly or not. All right, everybody, that's the 2023 BMW M340i. Some slight changes to the exterior, some more important but perhaps not lovable changes inside. Same power, still rear-wheel drive, still tons of fun. If you love a compact BMW, still a winner. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Have a good one.